If you're not happy today, you're a bear. Bears are so screwed, man. I want to show you a couple of things why this is going to be a fantastic run right now and why it started, man. I'm so freaking happy right now. Like, it played out. I had my plan, guys. I had my plan. I stick to it, and like the plan worked out. And the party is yet to really start. What I want to do in this video, I want to go over once again alt season and multiple reasons and indicators what causes an alt season, and if we can check them off. And there are two new indicators that just flashed. Maybe for those it's a little too soon to cheer, but I do want to show them, because if you're still fading alt season, you are so not gonna make it. Like, there is money to be made, so much money to be made. And we have been preparing on this channel for such a long time. We were cautious and careful for a long time. At a certain point, I started talking about certain nodes, which completely are exploding right now. Pre-sales, which are breaking out right now. The certain niches in crypto that people said they were dead, that was eventually just a bottom indicator. And it all comes together right now. So let's get into the real fun stuff. Welcome to the Fomo Factory. My name is Menno. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on. I know it's a Saturday and not a lot of people are usually watching on these days. I don't care. If you're not watching this, then yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter what I say to you. You don't listen anyway. Asshole. Now, let's take a look. Sorry, I'm too happy, man. So let's go over a couple of indicators that tell us if it's an alt season, and also what we can expect with alt season. Because, yeah, this has been the content for a while lately, because it's fucking alt season right now, right? Or around the corner, like, depends on these indicators. I don't know. Let the indicators tell us, right? But we have to go with the market, of course. And the market is exploding from every freaking single side. And if you are now looking at your portfolio and be like, nice, then bro, next year you're going to be like, wah! Like, I don't know if, I don't know, maybe your ADHD is a little less than mine. But if you already like what you see, you're going to love what you're going to see. So let's go over the first one, actually. What do we need in order to see an alt season? Now, real quick, 10 seconds. I promise you, alt season is where altcoins outperform Bitcoin, period, right? If Bitcoin is sitting at 90, 100K, yeah, then altcoins on the dollar pair, they completely like go crazy, right? But that's what an alt season is. So let's take a look at this. First requirement that it takes in order to have an alt season is the Bitcoin dominance being down, right? Money flew into Bitcoin, right? We saw Bitcoin going up to 100K, give or take, right? But overall, all the money from the market that was there also flew into Bitcoin. And therefore, the Bitcoin dominance went up. Now, what do you need in order for an alt season? Bitcoin dominance going down. Now, I know, therefore, it's a little too soon to call, maybe, because yes, the Bitcoin dominance is down, and it's down pretty hard as well. But the Bitcoin dominance had more, pushes to the downside. Now, there's one thing that's quite bullish to me. Like, if you draw a line from basically July until where we are right now, this was kind of the trend, and that broke. But like I just draw as well, like if you take it over the longer term, it didn't break yet. So let's not cheer too soon. But the Bitcoin dominance is having a good rejection right here. And I wasn't the guy that screamed alt season here as well, or here as well, right? But why am I saying it here? Because a lot of indicators come together, and then this move down makes a lot more sense. Plus, this happened during a area where there is so much support and resistance. It makes sense right here, right? Here, we also went down, but it didn't really make sense right there. Plus, if you take a look at where we got an alt season the last cycle, it was, if you take the Fibonacci, at the 618, it's where we got rejected and went into full alt season. Now, if you take a 618 over the current cycle, it went above it a little bit. Then again, it was a wick, right? But the full body, it never closed above it, right? And it gets rejected here again. So these are a couple of reasons, only from one chart, to assume like, okay, this is starting to look really good. So I keep asking this, but if you like that, man, please like the video. I need to push this up because I really feel like there are people that maybe need to see some of these videos, actually. Next reason is others / Bitcoin up. Now, what's that? Really quick for the new people, welcome. Hi, nice that you're here. Nice to meet me. Others is everything outside of the top 10 in the top 125. So lower cap altcoins, not the low cap, but lower cap on their Bitcoin pair. Because again, Altseason is where altcoins outperform Bitcoin, not the dollar, right? So then we need to see that chart going up. Now, this chart is now going up. Again, yeah, it went up multiple times. But why is this now interesting? Because this is a combination of another indicator that I'm going to talk about later in this video. But this chart is definitely overall not looking bearish. We have higher highs, higher lows. It holds the low right here, right? This trend line, it happened to exactly bounce off of there. So this is looking really good as well right now. Now, the next indicator in order to see an alt season, and the fun really comes later, is the end of the halving year, beginning post-halving year. Like I said, for I think 2 years now, I expect an alt season end of 2024, beginning 2025. Why? Because crypto has shown us like, hey, it's cyclical, and sometimes people say like, well, if it's that easy to predict, then, you know, it won't happen, right? Or everybody knows about the cycle right now. But I can honestly tell you that's not really the case. Most people are not even in crypto right now. The retail is not fully here yet. The ones that are, most people don't care about cycles. They just watch top 100x altcoins kind of videos, and that's all they do. Some people that do know about it, they don't even apply it because they might know, but applying is second. And the few people that are here, do know it and do apply it, yeah, these are the few people that are always making it in crypto. So end of the halving year, beginning post-halving year. Now again, and that lines up with what I just said, it's not only that this chart is going up and the Bitcoin dominance is going down, it's also when it happens, right? It bounced here. End 2016, beginning 2017. It bounced here, end of 2020, beginning 2021. It happens to bounce right here, end of 2024, beginning 2025, right? It lines up. This is not like, this is, if you believe in coincidence, this is really coincident if you think that this is not cyclical anymore, right? So if you feel like, yeah, there won't be an alt season, then you're basically also avoiding black cats and ladders and I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but this is like not a coincidence, right? So it lines up with the cycle. Now, also, that lines up with this. If you look again at the Bitcoin dominance, which we spoke about a couple of times now, if you take a look at the halving year, the halvings, right? If you look, when did alt season start? When did the Bitcoin dominance go down? Take the halving, and that happened 7 months later. Take the halving, it happened 7 months later. Take the halving, doesn't have to be exactly 7 months, but 6 is close enough, right? Like, wow, lines up pretty well. And I'm not saying that I'm guaranteeing you right now that it started, right? It could be a very nice period now for altcoins, and that next month this will go up and then it breaks, and that it will be 8 or 9 months. But it's such weird coincidence, right? That it all lines up right now, and that exactly in that period, the same move happens again. Again, because crypto is cyclical. It is, in a lot of ways, quite predictable, actually. But because not a lot of people do predict it, it still plays out, right? And yeah, that's sticking to a plan, bro. Next indicator for alt season is retail stepping in. Now, is retail stepping in? Well, if you look at, you can use Google Trends or whatever, or your grandma. But if you look at YouTube views, subscribers, Twitter followers, it's not exploding yet, but it is making a higher high right here, right? It was in this downtrend. Bitcoin went to its all-time high. People looked like, what's going on? Didn't work. People were like, okay, fuck that. And now Bitcoin really blasted through. People be like, hey, I'm here again, right? Retail is clearly making a higher high right here. There are more people coming into crypto right now. It's far, from what it's going to be, but it's happened. It starts. So bullish, actually. Next one is the money shift, right? Again, crypto moves in cycles and it's cyclical. Now, what's also cyclical is, again, the money shift that we've been talking about lately, right? You have Bitcoin, then it goes into high caps, then that goes into low caps. You also have the current hype, which is meme coins in this case, which starts to go down pretty hard lately and goes into the high caps, but also into the next hype, which looks like AI, right? Agents, that kind of shit. So the money is shifting as well. And that's what you can see on this chart. Also, we have Bitcoin completely ripping, right? Ripping far above its all-time high. We have the total crypto market also above the all-time high. Less hard though, but above it. But we have now also total 3, everything in the market except Bitcoin and Ethereum, minus others, so minus everything outside of the top 125, minus USDT and USDC. So what does that leave us with? With Solana, XRP, BNB, Dogecoin, Cardano, and Staked ETH. I don't know even if that's in the chart, by the way, then in that case. Well, at least some of the high caps, right? So the 5 or 6 high cap coins that make up for a lot of market share. And this is what you see on that chart. Mooning, right? Not above the previous all-time high yet, but this range has been fucked, right? Crazy how the money flows into these high caps. These high caps, they broke out of the previous all-time high and they're already 52% above it. Now, with the low caps, that's about to come as well. That's the next step. They are now sitting at that resistance, right? We have seen this with Bitcoin sitting there way above it. We've seen it with the total crypto market sitting there, now way above it when it broke out. Then it was turned for the high caps sitting there, way above it. And now the low caps are following and they're still sitting there. So you know where to place your money, right? And also what's interesting, by the way, between you and me very quickly, if you look at this chart, how do I need to say this? That's the biggest fucking cup and handle I've ever seen, man. Like, this is really bullish, okay? This cup and handle is a multi-year cup and handle. Cup and handles, if you don't know, are super bullish patterns, right? It doesn't always have to play out. Sometimes they are not perfectly drawn or whatever, but this right here is the prime example how a cup and handle looks like. You have the cup, you have the handle, and then when it goes above this, it has a huge breakout. Yeah, and again, that's what we see with Bitcoin already. We had the cup, but the handle was a little, less, right? However, for the altcoin market, it's a pretty good handle, dude. I can handle that. So the money shift is happening. The money from Bitcoin flows into, altcoins. The money from meme coins flows into, meme coins, also altcoins, but into the utility coins again. And we're on to the normal bull market again, right? That's kind of what's happening right now. So that's also a good indicator that alt season is starting, because if it does what last cycles did, then we get a fat alt season, and everything is exactly doing what the last cycles did. And every day that goes by, I'm more convinced, because it's repeating every day again, right? So yeah, it would so be unwise to fade this, man. Then we have another reason, others' dominance up. So, of course, the Bitcoin dominance can go down, but if Bitcoin dominance goes down because the money from Bitcoin flows into USDT because people are just simply selling their Bitcoin, then you also see this. That's not necessarily an alt season, right? You want to see that the dominance for the actual altcoins is going up. And that's really what an alt season is. So then we can take a look at this chart. And this chart is saying alt season is either started or very close. I've drawn this line a long time ago. I'm going to leave it there. Let's see how it does. It won't follow this exactly probably, but so far so good. Look, I've been talking about this chart for a long time. This is a parallel channel that's been accurate for at least 7 years, since 2017, right? If you take this, because this also lines up perfectly, then even 10 years, right? 10 and a half, well, 10. Yeah, it happened to be that we exactly bounced from this point. So it is confirmed that this is intact, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't bounce here. So in that case, yeah, let's look what happened in 2021 to the upside, 2017 to the upside, right? Well, if this is still intact after 10 years, then we go to the upside, alt season, right? So looking fantastic, like really, really fantastic. The writings are everywhere on the wall. And I don't know, please guys, I know most people know it by now, but don't fade this. Like I hear and there sometimes see some people saying it won't happen, but they never give a good reason. They I don't know, like they're getting emotional or whatever. They ignore all the charts, all the cycle behavior, everything, and they just feel like, no. And they get so fucking wrecked or left behind. Please, not this community, okay? This is the lifetime opportunity. Next, Bitcoin new all-time highs. Because let's be fair, we never had an alt season without Bitcoin pushing new all-time highs first. And that's just simply what it is. If you look at altcoins on their Bitcoin pair, again, saying if it's alt season or not, right? Let's overlay Bitcoin on this chart. Here we go. Bitcoin had an all-time high here, right? And we broke it right here. Did we get an alt season before that? No, alt season started here, right? This is where alt season started. So Bitcoin first needed to make new all-time highs. Alt season started here when Bitcoin was sitting at 40K, right? Twice as high as the previous all-time high, basically. I'm not saying that we need to go to 140K right now, but it does show like, hey, Bitcoin does need to make fat new all-time highs first. Previous all-time high was $1,200. Doesn't track it right here, but it was $1,200. So that's around here, right? This is where Bitcoin broke the all-time high. Where did alt season start? There, right? Now, like a year ago or so, people were also saying like, oh, alt season. Why? Bitcoin did not make new all-time highs. Even half a year ago when people said, oh, Bitcoin new all-time high, it wicked above it a little bit and then it slowed down for 8 months. Is that what you can call Bitcoin new all-time high? No. We're now sitting at 100K. Fuck yeah, we blasted through the new all-time high. There was one more requirement for the market to say like, hey, that has to happen first. It also makes sense, right? Why would people put their money from Bitcoin into altcoins if we're still grinding all the way here? If nothing happens and if Bitcoin goes sideways and altcoins get wrecked more, why would people then say like, okay, now let's put it into altcoins? No, now they have big money with Bitcoin. They are in profit. They see altcoins exploding. They feel like, okay, not much upside with Bitcoin anymore from this point. But with the altcoin market, there is. Now we put it in alt season. Next requirement that we just met, but this is too soon to call, in my opinion. Maybe at least, but that's this. Is the Bitcoin dominance below the bull market support band? If we go to the Bitcoin dominance, then you can see that, let me remove the noise right here. If we look at the bull market support band, look, this is a combination. It's not only about being below the bull market support band. That happened multiple times, right? A little bit at least. But if you combine all these things that check it off, and then you also see that the Bitcoin dominance is now really losing its bull market momentum, yeah, that's like the confirmation on top of the 10 confirmations that we already have, right? So this is now below it. Why is it too soon to call, in my opinion, actually, but it's not something to completely ignore? Well, one, it is below it, but we still have 2 days to go this week, and this is about the weekly closure. I mean, you can wick below it, like we wicked below it right here. We wicked below it right here and here, right? So it couldn't turn out to be a wick, and then it was too soon to call, right? So let's wait how the week ends. Also, I really, actually, for more confirmation, want to see a couple of weeks, actually. Because here, we also went below it. We closed that week below it, and the next week we were still below it, right? But eventually we went back up. So therefore, I feel like, okay, let's slow down a little bit. But what's now at least interesting, the Bitcoin dominance here was grinding up, the bull market support band here was grinding up. Now you can see that the bull market support band is kind of flipping over, right? And if Bitcoin stays, or if the Bitcoin dominance stays where it is right now, then this is how the bull market support band will move in the coming weeks, right? So it's now not going up anymore, but it's really flipping. So in that case, I feel like, okay, more resistance for the bull market support band. So that's an extra one. And another extra one is this. The Bitcoin dominance excluding stables breaking down. Why? Again, Bitcoin dominance might go down, but theoretically that could also be because money flows from Bitcoin into USDT. And although it's always correlated, the downside moves with an alt season, it doesn't mean that that's the reason for an alt season, right? So you want to also exclude stables from that, because then the Bitcoin money flows in everything except stables. So what else is there? You have three things, right? Bitcoin, stables, and altcoins. Then it flows into altcoins. So if we take a look at the Bitcoin dominance without stables, then this is what we see. And this is looking good, because one, this also lost the bull market support band. Again, same shit, too soon to call. But two, this thing has been in an uptrend since December 2021. It's been in this parallel channel, in this rising wedge. Well, rising wedges are notorious for breaking down, right? And it now is quite well below that rising wedge, right? This support band. Kind of depends how you draw it, right? Because you can also connect this wick to this wick right here, and then you cannot really actually, because then this is it, right? It's any case, it's below it, right? So I do think that this is extremely bullish. Again, want to see how it all closes, right? This week is important for this. Next week as well. But if this turns out to be a wick like here, then hey. But then again, this wick right here didn't happen during the fact that we have all these confirmations. And now we have these confirmations checked off as well. So that's going to be really interesting. One thing that I feel like, okay, let's see how that plays out, right? Like this 618 has been broken. It retested a couple times, and it now broke right away to the downside actually. So that's looking pretty good. Worst case scenario, it could go to the 786, but time-wise, it doesn't make sense, because if it follows this trend line, then that would be in June. So that doesn't make sense. And that move from here to here, with again all these things that happened, I feel like then the charts have to do really weird, and like all the charts have to do really weird. So this is looking freaking fantastic. Like really fantastic, guys. And you can now see it as well. Like it's not only the high caps anymore. I've been talking about launchpads for a long time, right? And you can see that the new launches are now doing quite fantastic, actually. We have AI Fun. This thing has been freaking ripping, right? So people that say that launchpads are dead, new pre-sales are dead, bro, you just don't know where to look. Like, no, like there's a lot. Like even Meta Exceed, which started off very badly, now ripped, right? Because all these launches, people, they look at the crypto market at a certain point and they feel like, whoa, altcoins are high. I'm not early anymore. So what am I going to do to be early? Meme coins? No, of course not. The whole market is ripping. Why would I fucking risk it all? Like in a market that goes up. Launchpads, right? It's that easy. So you see these things completely rip. And you also see that a lot of coins like Octavia, for example, first, this thing, and this is beautiful actually, it came out, it ripped, like we made like a lot of money. It started at 10 cents and it went all the way to 280, right? Then it went down, 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 but far above the pre-sale price. So this was big profit anyway. But this thing looked like, oh, that, right? And now the market just does a little bit. And Octavia, without any problem, actually, from the bottom to where we are right now, is up 5x. Crazy. So we see all these projects kind of, blowing up. And the preparation for this was months ago, right? Like you can still make a lot of money in crypto, and I will talk about that for the coming year. But the real preparation was in the time when nobody believed in shit, right? We talked, for example, about Delesium. I talked about these notes end of 2022, and a lot of people bought these notes, right? And then print money, right? Print money. Crazy. However, a lot of people also faded it because it was a bear market and we don't believe it in anymore. Yeah, you could have had a great passive income, even with agent layer. It started off not too great. Now AI agents having a little hype, and look what happened to this thing. It's 100% up overnight, right? If you look at it 3 months, like this candle is beautiful. Sometimes the good things in crypto, they take a little time, and that's fine. Let it take a little time. The thing that you need is conviction at the moment that nobody else has them. And I've been preaching about that for such a long time. And I hope you at least not do what I said necessarily, but took in consideration that you have to be bullish when people are bearish. And in times like these, it's paying off because my portfolio is printing money right now. And to be really fair, the market hasn't done much yet, right? Because again, if you look, I'm not looking at the altcoin chart too much. I'm just, as long as Bitcoin is around this level right now, then we just need altcoins to outperform a little bit, right? And therefore we can take a look either at others on the Bitcoin pair, right? This thing, or we can take a look at, others' dominance. Doesn't matter. As long as these charts go up, then it's going to be great, right? Because this move is not much yet. But because Bitcoin is sitting at 100K, my altcoins are completely mooning right now. And I hope yours are as well. Let alone when this thing goes where it belongs, right? Or maybe even close to it. But this is not much yet. So the party is getting started, in my opinion. But the full passing out, boost, bitches, all of that is like that's coming. Really, that's gonna be crazy. And then it's important to know when to get out because the hangover is gonna kill you eventually, right? That's like not great. And that I mean bear market, but my metaphors are not so great. But the party has it like, again, could it be that this is a moment for altcoins, right? Where we just go up a little bit and one move down before we really could be, right? But don't be surprised if you look back in 2 months and be like, damn, this is where it started, right? So not a video about, oh, buy this, like things are up hard, right? I find that a little dangerous, but I do think we had a lot of time for that. And now we're just going to talk about how to rotate, where to put your money, when to expect what. So far, how do you say this? I don't need to say this, but so far I'm very happy with how I handled this market, at least, and my expectations are that this is actually the beginning and by far not the end. So let's make it a fantastic 2025, guys. This is going to be absolutely beautiful. Also, I haven't chilled it this yet, but there's a link for the Alpha Factory down below. You can get into the exclusive community where I show all these things early, give early calls, show my portfolio. A lot of interesting stuff right there. It's getting only bigger. The community is smart right there, getting a lot of people right there. So if you feel like I want to take my crypto journey like really serious and get the alpha early, you can get in. It's not like it's cheap. And there's now also a Black Friday deal, 30% off. Plus you can pay with crypto if you want to pay it for 1 year. So that's also really easy. For now, I just want to say, guys, enjoy, man. Make your money, take your profits here and there, and just enjoy that you deserve this. So take care, like the video, please, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.